Well, congratulations to the world champion Philadelphia Eagles and MVP Jalen Hurts. They went out there and put a whooping on the Chiefs. I didn't think it'd be a whooping. Obviously, I had picked them to win, but I didn't see that one coming. That was a hell of a game. So, it's Monday morning. The season's over. Start of the season of 2026. I know the league year starts on March 13th, but the Super Bowl is over. As far as I'm concerned, 2026 has begun. So, with that said, the Vikings, with only 4 draft picks coming up in the upcoming draft, 24, 97, 140, 160 something, I believe it was. I could be wrong on that. But have a lot of money in free agency. And you saw what it took tonight to win a Super Bowl. It takes a mobile quarterback, not a running quarterback, a mobile quarterback. A quarterback. That's going to be JJ. But it also takes an offensive line that's able to open up space for either him or the running back, or you at least hold the pocket so he doesn't get crushed, like what we saw happen with the Kansas City offensive line tonight. They were dominated. They were absolutely dominated. It all started in the trenches, and the Eagles clearly won that battle. The Vikings have a record amount of free agent money for them going into free agency, and clearly their number one priority needs to be guards. You have 2 of the best tackles in the National Football League. You need to have guards that can complement them, and probably a center. My preference would be to expend as much as you can in free agent money to get veteran talent in here. Veteran talent. I was looking at a list of the top 10 guards, and it's Zach Martin, Trey Smith, Kevin Zeitler, Mekhi Blackton, Will Fries, Brandon Scherf, Tevin Jenkins, James Daniels, Aaron Banks, Will Hernandez. My preference would be somebody to get like a Mekhi Becton in here, a Trey Smith in here. Break the bank. Break the bank. Get the best of the best in here. And then you take your first or your second pick in the draft and you get your running back. You use that 4 or 5 year rookie contract to run them ragged. You need a battery for J.J. McCarthy like Aikman Emmett, like young Ricky Waters. Steve Young, for those of you who don't know. Steve Young, Ricky Waters. A battery like that is tough to stop. With an offensive line of veteran talent who are all top of their game, that's what it's going to take. That, and you get yourself a nose tackle or a defensive tackle in the draft. But it's clearly got to be that you are out to protect your number one asset is your quarterback. And that's going to be J.J. McCarthy. We all know that. So, to that end, you need to spend as much money in free agency on guards and possibly center as possible. Unless you think that young center is going to come in and replace Bradbury, because I'm sick of seeing the center get trucked into the backfield at least once a game. You can't have that with a young quarterback. He needs to know that pocket is secure so he can make the best decisions possible and has the time to do so. And you also want a running back who's young enough to be able to take the abuse that's going to happen running through an NFL line and has the durability to do it. You have that rookie scale contract. That's what you want with your running back. You have that rookie scale with your quarterback. So you have the ability to build a team around him. And that's what you need to do. You saw tonight what it takes to win a championship. It's in the trenches. That's where your focus needs to be. If you are convinced, as I am, that you have your franchise quarterback in J.J. McCarthy, you have all the offensive weapons you could possibly want, except running back. What you need is an offensive line to protect those weapons and to utilize those weapons to their maximum capability. And you need a defensive line that is going to be able to get at it without having to bring 7, 8 people in pressure, subverting coverage. It's nice to have B-Flow back. It's almost like we got almost the entire gang back, except for one. And that's fine. I hope there's an attitude today, Monday morning, in Vikings headquarters of, frankly, anger. Anger that we've been so far off and that we are so far off. You saw what it took today to win a Super Bowl. I think we've got the quarterback, in my opinion, in JJ. I think we've got all the weapons he could ever need. We've got a defensive coordinator who is creative and can certainly scheme with the best of them. Now we got to get him the tools to work with. Last year's tools were very good. Ginkel and Grenard were great additions. We need the similar additions when it comes to the offensive line this year. This is 2 years in a row we need Kwesi to hit home runs, legitimate home runs in free agency, and he needs to learn to draft. If he is not able to draft, then we've got a serious problem, and we need to consider options at general manager, because general managers don't just work free agency and trades. They need to be able to create a team organically from the draft picks you have. Last year's draft seems to be decent so far. Not great. But Kwesi needs to learn to draft. There needs to be a whole different attitude this year in Vikings headquarters. Solidify the trenches. Get the trenches bigger, tougher, meaner, and nastier. There needs to be an attitude of nastiness. You saw that on display all night tonight. So it's Monday. The season is over. The 2025 season begins today. Scouting departments need to be on cue. Draft boards need to be getting made. Scouting needs to be done. Pro days are going to be coming up. Combine, free agency. This is a critical year for the Minnesota Vikings. A critical year. This will make or break Kwesi. Glad we have KOC re-signed. But now it's the formation of the squad. And we're going to track that as it goes. And I really do appreciate you swinging in here. I do hope that you'll like and subscribe. And I thank you very much. You have a great Monday.